See, the idea of working in like a morgue and working with dead bodies, that has always freaked me out, and this movie done nothing to change that. Very quickly, if you enjoy the cut of my jib, consider hitting subscribe. Not only will it keep you up to date with the latest movies I review, but you're just going to make my day. But that being said, let's get on with this one, The Offering. So The Offering is a psychological horror that's got demons in it, but thankfully it does quite a few refreshing things in here, just to make sure that it's not treading over old ground. So what does this one have to offer? See what I did there? Now we open up on Gandalf doing a ritual. Look, I never finished Rings of Power, but like I'm pretty sure it was Gandalf, so we've got Gandalf here.
Calm yourself.
Definitely Gandalf, wasn't it? We don't quite know what he's doing the ritual for, what his intentions are, good or evil.
I'm good.
All we know is shit's about to go down and lead us into this one. And this is where we cut to the main couple of the movie, Arthur and Claire. So Claire is pregnant and Arthur is bringing her along to meet his dad for the first time, I think. The way the movie talks as though it's like the first time, or at least the first time in a long while. Now Arthur's dad lives above the moratorium, like it's part of his house. I think it's a moratorium it's called. Either way, he's the one that gets the dead bodies, he keeps them in lock-up and then gets them ready for funerals. That sort of thing. And I will say, his dad is just the loveliest man in this movie. He's clearly just really excited about being a granddad. He's putting on lovely spreads, he really wants to get to know Claire and make sure that they're just having the best life. And Arthur throughout the whole thing just seems to have a little bit of resentment. Clearly something's on his mind. Now this is kind of like a B plot to the main story, so no spoilers, but basically Arthur is struggling financially, like severely, and so he's put his dad's house up as collateral. And his dad doesn't quite know about this plan yet. He's got the paperwork here and he's going to try and get his dad to sign it. As you can imagine, there's a little bit of hostility in the house when this is discovered. It's actually the uncle Hamish that discovers it, and he is way more pissed off than the dad is about this. So whilst all this resentment is going on, Gandalf gets wheeled in because he didn't survive that ritual from the start of the movie. Nope. And this is where we start getting into the weird, demonic ritual part of the movie. Freaky shit starts happening, and this is what I mean by it does a lot of things quite different. You know, if I say to you that some freaky shit happens in the house, you kind of already know what I'm talking about. You see the hallucinations, there's knocks, there's weird things falling over. This movie does thankfully make a very conscious effort to not just do all the standard stuff. A lot of the kind of scares, they're a lot more subtle. There's not so many jump scares in the movie, and it's quite stylistic. And a couple of the different effects they used, I hadn't seen for a long time or for the first time in this one. So whilst the plot itself isn't necessarily breaking any new ground, see watching it develop and unravel, that is what kept it interesting for me. So whilst this freaky shit is going on, Claire is in the house and she doesn't really understand what's happening. She didn't even know the house was up for collateral. So she's learning a lot of things very fast. And then there's Arthur, who starts to understand that something a bit more happened with Gandalf. We found some things on the body when it got first wheeled in, and things just don't quite add up. You know, one of his dad's friends knows a little bit about supernatural and all these rituals that go on. So he's got a little bit clued up. But thankfully he's not that character that's just here and immediately jumps to that conclusion. The dad actually asks him from the get-go, you know, what about these rituals? To which certain items weren't on his body, so it couldn't be that. Whilst they kind of do believe in the rituals, it's not like they're aiming straight at one immediately in this movie. So they do explore other options. Again, it was good to see that they didn't go straight to demons. Well, it turned out to be rituals and demons and all those things, but they didn't go straight to it, and that's the good thing. Now, the issue with this movie I had is that Arthur, knowing that he's put his dad's house up for collateral and he's came here not to come with Claire, who's pregnant, to kind of make a family bond, but he's doing it for his own financial gain. From the start of the movie, you're not really on Arthur's side. You know, he's kind of a dick. He doesn't continue the movie like that, but see, because he doesn't do anything to really bring it back for himself, he doesn't do any big gestures to make you suddenly love him again, but he doesn't also do anything necessarily dickish moving forward. So because they kind of set that up, you're just kind of on shaky ground with Arthur as a lead. You actually love Hamish more as the uncle. He very understandably wants to help everyone and also kind of hates Arthur at the moment. So it's good to see that Hamish got a lot of screen time because he's kind of the one that you're wanting to root for more than Arthur in this movie. And Claire, she's just kind of existing in amongst all of the scary shit going on, because she's kind of married into the family. There's a very traditional family, they believe in these things being a possibility, whereas Claire, not so much. She's not necessarily against it, but while she's just exploring the house and experiencing all this weird shit, she can't quite put together what's happening, whereas the chaps in the movie, they're leading straight to what's going on. So they start digging, they start investigating, and they start to understand what the hell Gandalf was up to and what he's brought to the home. One thing that did just jump out at me in this movie, total gamer at heart, so this is probably why. I'm not going to show the video for it for spoilers. However, they have just used Lara Croft's like fall death sound effect. Like, I am convinced that's what's happened. That sound played a lot in my childhood, so when I heard it, it just jumped out right at me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. However, you can hear it too, can't you? So look, with all that being said, where would I be putting The Offering? See, if you are looking for a psychological horror, one that tries to present itself new, but treading over old ground, make time for The Offering. The best way I could describe watching this movie is like you're getting the same gift you got last Christmas, only it's been rewrapped in a way that you have not yet seen before. You know, someone paid a little bit extra to get you some extra special wrapping paper. Though the characters in here were really compelling, you could understand where each of them were, whether they disliked or liked each other, and just their own motivations for dealing with it, because whilst they come together to try and take care of this ritual and this demon thing that's going on, they all have their own reason why. You know, they're doing it for maybe somebody else, be it personal or be it for someone. Arthur as a character was really good and really well acted, but just as I said, as a person, you don't quite get on his side as much as you'd like to, given that he came into this movie like a bit of a dick and didn't do much to turn that around. So look, have you seen The Offering? If you have, let me know if we agree or disagree. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe. It just keeps you up to date with the latest movies I'm reviewing, these hidden gems to try and add to your watch list. But with all that now out the way, and as always, thank you so much for watching.